I want to bring it all together now so you can see how you can bundle this together and apply this to your own projects. You've seen all the commercialization. What I want to do is talk about the execution of it. So, we've looked at commercialization. I've talked about the landscape, the political, legal, regulatory, social, societal, economic, competitive, technological issues, so shareholder issues, everything that can impact you can't control. And I showed you a little bit of that. And I also talked a little bit about exits. And we've talked about the easiest path to income. Rather than aim for the end, you've got to aim for the first milestone. And that's going to be modest capital raise, a distribution agreement, license agreement, or a trade sale. That gives you the cash flow to move forward. Now, the real reasons people get stuck, it's not the idea, it's not having the commercial model, not having the instructions to go forward, not knowing what to do now and what to do next. So if you have no structured plan, you're not going to be able to put everything in order to get yourself. If you have wrong partner profiles, like for instance, if you're looking for high net worth individuals, people with a lot of money, government, and you think they'll put money into this, they won't. You've got to now rethink the way they do it. And I've given you a lot of information to reclassify the way you think about the people who need to do this. If you don't have a pitch structure, that is a sell sheet, a pitch deck, or idea of what you're going to offer them that's going to discount their risk, then you really are going to say, I want 500,000 from you, you'll get $700,000 back in 12 months. And it's just a risk versus return. And I can tell you now, you won't get money using that. Or if you don't have the deal strategy, you don't know how to solve the now problem, you don't know how to you don't know how to offset their risk, then you're not going to get them to come on board with you. So that becomes a problem. So for me, invention isn't the issue, the commercialization is. If you're an expert at whatever sort of invention you've been doing, it doesn't make you an expert in commercialization. I don't know how to invent. I did invent my first product in 1983, and my last invention was actually the cornerstone investor model, which we use to fund projects. But I can tell you my expertise is in commercial modeling. And rather than charge you to go and do your commercial model, which I can do, but at 4 hours, you can appreciate it's about 12 hours for me to do it because I do 4 hours before, 4 hours afterwards and pull it all together. So in order to do that, that becomes expensive and you don't want to pay for that. So, but if I give you the skills to do it and I run you a 4-hour workshop as part of a program, that's a whole lot easier. So time is going to kill your project if you're not careful. You've got a patent clock. If you have a patent now, every day that's counting down, if you've got provisional patents, you've only got 12 months before you have to come up with the big money. If you've started paying out that big money, your asset is actually a liability because people will look at it and say, actually, you might be worth this, but you owe that much. And that offsets what you're worth. It could be that competitors are looking into this space. If they see the need, and everyone's not looking at your product, they're looking at the need it fills. It's a solution for a problem. What is that problem? That's what people are working at. And with AI, that's helping people to understand what the problem is. Market shifts. What's your opportunities? What's changing? Are regulations of regulatory bodies starting to implement things to restrict what you're going to do and what you're going to be able to do? And should you be in now as a result of that? If you lose your momentum, I can tell you now, there's many a project I've seen that's gone back into the top drawer. They've written it all out on that napkin. They know exactly what they're going to do, but it never gets done. I had a project which we got going about 2 years ago. It was a really clever product, but it was done on a PC. It was PC based, and it needed to be cloud based. This guy had patents on it, when he got to me, he had been running the project for 22 years and hadn't made a cracker. We did the entire thing by partnering up with somebody in the industry, got it all done. He's making millions out of that now. The product was a brilliant product. He had to rewrite it into cloud-based, worked fine. But he had patents which expired. The patents only run for 20 years. He had been running it for 22 years and still hadn't made any money. So we changed it. We changed the game because he got his momentum back. Every month of inaction increases your commercial risk. And what I see, particularly this time of year, people say, okay, what am I going to do next year that will give me a better outcome than what I got this year? If not much happened for you this year, you need to change the way you're doing things, whether it's with me or with anyone or even just yourself. You must change the model you use to get a different outcome. So if you want to turn the clarity you get from today into income, you need to understand what the journey is. And I've given you a good pathway to a good framework there to understand that. You need a structure and you need a plan. When I do this, I support people with our experience, but you need to tap into somebody's experience to help. When we work with us, we plan out your entire project and we coach you in a weekly cohort. What we do is we put a cohort of, we create cohorts of 6 different members of groups, ideas, and they work together for a full 6 months. And you get your first cash generating transaction maybe at 90 days, but you want to do a second one, you transition to another one, but you're still working with the same team. And there's a reason for that. You get to know their products and projects, and you get to help with them and volunteer and create and ask questions and learn from what they're doing, even if they're in a different interval on the 6 steps of commercialization. And if you're at step 4 and they're at step 2, you're learning what you did wrong at step 2 by just listening to them and helping them. Now, when we do work with people, we work on the weekly cohort, but we also work on one-on-one calls. So if you reach out, we have reach out calls for 30 minutes. At any time, you just get into my calendar and make a call. When you score your first deal, we transition you to your second deal to make sure you can keep going, because beyond 6 months, you want to keep doing deals till you get to pre-scale. Pre-scale is, as I mentioned, where venture capital will throw money at you because you've got what they want. Now, our invention to income roadmap is pretty easy. We do a 6-week intensive learning. At 4 weeks, we bring you in for an ideation commercial modeling workshop. And we work the full 6 months with it done with you. So we're working with you to make sure all of that can happen, because we know we've got skills you haven't got yet. And we want you at the end of 6 months to own those skills. We help you qualify the prospects and structure the deals. We mastermind everything. So your group of 5 others, you're working with each other to mastermind the whole thing. So any problem becomes shared amongst 6 or 7, because I'm in those groups as well. And we're going through all of those. And I can tell you, in the past, I've had some of those mastermind members, the cohort members, invest in the other members of their group. One guy trade saled his project and said, I've got nothing to do. I still want to come to the meetings. Can I help? Can I work with you? He ended up buying a share of that. So it can happen. We show you and we emphasize and we work on just your fastest path to cash flow, because cash flow increases your opportunities, drops out all your risk. And that's why you have to do it. So that's what we do with you. And we work it quite rapidly. And if you have a structure and a system and people to guide you, it's a whole lot easier. It gets you deal ready pretty much from day 1 or from month 1. So what we build is your complete commercial foundation. We first off start with a commercial readiness score. Some of you have done that. And for those who don't, it's a free test. In 3 minutes, you'll know exactly whether your project's ready to go or not. We then give you that ideation commercial modeling workshop, which gives you a 90-day action plan, the complete mind map, as you've seen. And it can have over 500. The one I did the other day, which was this unit for bolt hole blockouts, that was 710. I remember it because I've just written it up. And we've already done his Walker Trade Show and got him his deals on the table. He's working on both a distribution deal and a license deal. So we did his 90-day action plan. He had his path to market. He knew he wanted a distribution deal. He knew he also wanted to work on a licensing deal. And so we did both. And so the distributor will actually work with the licensee when the time comes. So we're looking at who the shortlist is for your collaboration partner. We're using our 10-4-1 process. So we're only working on 4, but we're only doing 1 pitch at a time. And we qualify them to make sure that they are an investor, a partner, licensee, whatever it is. We give you all those deal room tools that you need. Things that you have to create. You're going to search AI, you're going to search Google, and you're going to come up with other people's, but they're not necessarily the ones you need. We actually have them on the shelf ready to go. Checklist templates, everything, your sell sheet, your draft financial models, your pitch deck, appointments and pitch scripts, due diligence checklists, it's all in there. You get all your deal-ready materials, including your one-page sell sheet, your partner pitch deck, which has everything you need, your outreach scripts, because we script everything, so you don't have any fear of doing this. When you're working to a script, it's a lot easier, and we know what people will say because I can do these with you. I can actually run them, and you can listen to the calls. So it's quite easy to do. The whole idea is to get you completely prepared for working on your own forever. So your next project and your project after that, you never have to look for help. You've got it. So you're not doing it alone as you work through the weekly structure. You've got your group coaching calls. You've got the onboarding call, which we do at the beginning. You do one-on-one reach out calls. You can have any number of those. The only stipulation is you can only have reach out calls in the weeks that you've attended your group coaching calls. If you haven't attended, you can't book a reach out call. And the reason for that is because everyone will say, I don't go to the group calls. I'll only do my private calls. And therefore, you're not helping other people, firstly. You're not learning from other people, secondly. And thirdly, I'm selling you a group coaching program and you're just using it as a private one, and that doesn't work. So we give you all the templates, the checklists, the frameworks, everything, SWOT files, everything you need, all the case studies are all into the system online, and you have that for life. You don't just have it for the 6 months. So what we're going to do here with our program, if you're interested, and I'm going to walk you through that in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to give you the deal route templates pack. If you join me, you get the 90-day deal momentum support that we promise with everyone. You get the sell sheet review, out sheet templates and scripts, lifetime access to case studies, and also your commercialization mastery videos. They're all included for lifetime. So you can share that login with everyone in your team, and you've got it for life. You've got copies of my ebooks and essays once you join, because the ebooks are in there, and the essays are all online anyway, but they're private, so that you get access to our library. Now, that's worth a few $1,000s. I know that, and we're not selling this for $10,000 or $100,000. But now the guarantees we give you, if by week 12 you don't have your first offer or acceptance, I'll redo your pitch deck, your sell sheets, and personally attend your next pitch. Do it by Zoom or in person if you're in my neighbourhood, just to make sure you get it. And the way you get me to attend your Zoom is we set up what's called a technical advisory panel, and they might have all your experts who don't get paid. They're voluntary to contribute to it. I can tell you that's the best way to bring academics on, because the academics are not looking for money. They're looking for something that's in their CV, and that's what you can give them. Chair of a technical advisory panel on this particular topic. And I would come in as a member of that technical advisory panel, an international member, and then I can help with the pitch. So, and that makes it a lot easier for you. So if you're ready to take that step, here's the 2 ways we do it. First one is a $5,000 product on level 1. You get the full program, the bonuses, templates, commercial modeling workshop, which is 4 hours, plus my extra 8 hours each side of it, 4 hours each side of it. There's weekly support coaching, 30-minute reach out calls, 5 months of our project status reviews. That's where I bring you up. We pull up your map that you printed out, and we go through the entire thing. We do that once a month over 5 months. You get all of this for 6 months, and you get the access to all the online stuff for life. Now, the payment plan is available for those who want to spread it out over 6 months. Sometimes cash is a problem. Then $1,000 a month for 6 months makes it a lot easier. Now, for the first time ever, for 2026, I'm offering a level 1 fast track upgrade. And that's where we give you everything that you've got in the first one. But I'll also you don't have to worry about your sell sheet, your pitch deck, the partner pitch calls. I will join you for 1 or 2 of those. I'll do the sell sheet, the pitch deck myself, and your one-on-one reach out calls, which are 30-minute reach out calls in your standard, you can go to 1 hour. And you can also get those for a full 12 months instead of 6 months. Now, you can get that for $8,000, so it's only marginally more. There's a payment plan there at $2,000 a month if you like. That is more than, it's 5 months instead of 6, but it's double the price. Now, for that, you're getting double the calls, so 1 hour instead of 30 minutes. But I can tell you, on average, our reach out calls problem solved in 5 minutes. The rest of it's just building up anything else. But you might want to bring something up and talk about it, and we can work through it. That's no problem. Because you've got 1 hour of my time, whereas on the standard program, you get 30 minutes of my time, and you can use it for whatever you need. But the big thing is you don't have to sit down and learn how to do a sell sheet or a pitch deck. I'll do the whole lot. And that includes the financials for the pitch deck. I'll do it all. It's all part of it. So that's available for you. If you want to fast track your project, that's a good way to do it. So the all important thing is you get started today. You're in there within 4 weeks. We've programmed your ideation and commercial modeling workshop, so you're up and running. And from my perspective, you can, if I'm doing your sell sheet on the fast track program, you're ready to go. You're ready to start presenting in 4 weeks rather than in 6 or 7 weeks. So you're well and truly going to get your first one in the first 2 months instead of 3 months. So that in itself is worth money. So if I talk about your pathway to your first deal, it's pretty easy. I've done this before internationally for a lot of companies. I've also done it for individuals. Most of what I do is for small R&D teams or individuals. And I've written a whole lot of books, including over 250 essays and articles that have been published. For those of you who are in my newsletter, you can get that free in LinkedIn. Just find it. It's called Negotiating Innovation. You can, as part of this, you get your choice of one of my books if you join me. And of course, we've been doing this program. I've done this program now in universities and 2 universities in the US, 1 in Singapore, as a course curriculum for a master's degree. So you can actually see how we do it in 26 weeks. That's why it's a 6-month course, by the way. So there you have it. If you want to talk to me about getting on board with this, no pressure, but you can go to daniel30mins.com and book 30 minutes of my time. That's exactly how you do it as a member. But because it's the end of the month, most of our people from last 6 months are dropping off now. And so there's time availability. You can go in there, pick a time that suits you. You're talking to me within 4 hours or up to 7 days. And we can see whether or not your project's ready to go and what we can do about it. So that's what I have for you today. I'm going to stop the recording and we're going to do some Q&A if that's okay with you guys. We've gone over time. I apologise for that, but